It begins without warning, an anomaly rippling through the fabric of reality. One moment our world spins in its familiar rhythm, a comforting constant in the vastness of space. The next, an impossible silence descends. The very laws of physics seem to bend and break. The Earth stops rotating, its momentum vanishing as if it never existed. The ground halts with jarring abruptness, but the atmosphere, unburdened by the sudden stop, doesn't. It retains its inertia, a colossal, invisible force unleashed upon the still landscape. Air, oceans, and everything not anchored to bedrock, every car, every tree, every living creature keep moving at over 1,000 miles per hour, the speed of the Earth's rotation at the equator. A planet-sized hurricane is born in an instant. Supersonic winds, far exceeding the strength of any storm ever recorded, scour the surface, ripping buildings from foundations as if they were mere toys, tearing trees from the soil, their roots offering no resistance to the overwhelming force, and pulverizing continents into dust, reducing mountains to rubble in a matter of moments. The sun becomes fixed in the sky for one hemisphere, an unblinking eye of fire, baking the land to a crisp, turning fertile fields into barren deserts, and boiling the oceans, creating a hellish landscape of steam and superheated water. The other side plunges into endless night shrouded in an impenetrable darkness, freezing solid under the cold gaze of space. Our planet splits in two, a world divided, one of fire, an inferno of unimaginable proportions, one of ice, a frozen wasteland where life cannot exist. The change is instant and catastrophic, a geological event of unprecedented scale. The familiar world, the one we have always known, is erased in minutes, its landmarks and landscapes utterly transformed, replaced by a deafening roar of wind, water, and grinding rock. A symphony of destruction played out on a planetary scale. Human civilization, with all its achievements and aspirations, is rendered insignificant, a fragile construct swept away by the forces of nature. In the face of such cosmic power, a stark reminder of our place in the universe. Survival now means enduring the first moments, navigating the immediate aftermath of a world we no longer recognize, a landscape alien and hostile where the rules of survival have been rewritten. Imagine a tornado's fury but stretched across continents, amplified beyond comprehension. Picture every major hurricane, every devastating cyclone, all converging into a single planet-spanning vortex of destruction. At the equator, winds reach over 1,000 miles per hour, faster than sound, tearing through the atmosphere with unimaginable force. These aren't gentle breezes, they are shock waves of air, pulverizing everything in their path. The very air itself becomes a weapon. This is not weather, it's annihilation. It's the complete and utter breakdown of the world as we understand it, a cataclysmic event that reshapes the face of the planet in the most brutal way possible. Cities are atomized, reduced to dust and scattered across the landscape. The proud monuments of human civilization, once symbols of progress and ingenuity, are now nothing more than fleeting memories. Skyscrapers and homes become shrapnel in a lethal blizzard, propelled at speeds that defy belief. Every object, no matter how large or sturdy, is transformed into a deadly projectile. Friction heats the land until it glows, the ground itself radiating an intense, unbearable heat. The very earth is scorched and seared, a testament to the unimaginable forces at play, igniting firestorms that merge with the winds, creating swirling infernos that consume everything in their path. These are not ordinary fires, they are raging conflagrations fueled by the very atmosphere itself, forming a wall of fire and debris, an impenetrable barrier of destruction that stretches across the horizon. There is no escape, no refuge from this all-consuming inferno. The air thickens with pulverized rock and civilization's remnants, a choking cloud of dust and ash that blots out the sun and suffocates all life. Breathing becomes a struggle, a desperate fight for survival. Blotting out the sky, plunging the world into an eternal twilight, the sun, once a source of warmth and life, is now a distant memory, obscured by the impenetrable darkness. Even away from the equator, winds flatten everything, leaving behind a desolate wasteland where nothing can stand. The landscape is scarred and broken, a testament to the raw power of the storm. Forests are shredded, reduced to splintered remains and scattered debris. The ancient trees, once symbols of strength and resilience, are now nothing more than broken fragments, and the planet's green lungs are ripped out, leaving behind a barren and lifeless landscape. The delicate balance of nature is shattered, and the Earth is left gasping for breath. The kinetic energy and flying debris obliterate all life in their path, leaving no trace of what once was. Every living thing is swept away, erased from existence by the sheer force of the storm. the atmosphere becomes a sandblaster, a relentless barrage of abrasive particles that strip away everything in their path. Except the sand is made of cars, buildings, and mountainsides, a horrifying cocktail of destruction that scours the planet clean. The very fabric of reality is torn apart. This is the Great Scouring, a planetary exfoliation, stripping away the layers of history and civilization. A planetary reset, violently erasing the world we knew, leaving behind a blank canvas for a new, unknown future. The slate is wiped clean, but at a terrible cost. The Earth is scraped clean, down to the bone, a stark and desolate reminder of the power of nature's fury. The planet is wounded, scarred, and forever changed. As the winds subside, a new reality emerges, a stark contrast to the world we once knew. The atmospheric chaos begins to settle, revealing the profound changes that have reshaped our planet. Earth is now tidally locked. One side faces the sun forever, bathed in eternal daylight, while the other faces endless night, shrouded in perpetual darkness. This division creates two vastly different and extreme environments. On the day side, the sun never sets, a relentless, scorching presence dominating the landscape. The intensity of the solar radiation is beyond anything previously imagined. Temperatures soar to unimaginable heights, oceans boil away into the atmosphere, and the land glows with intense, unbearable heat. The very ground beneath is superheated. Life, as we understand it, is simply impossible in this incandescent domain. The conditions are far too extreme to support any known form of terrestrial organism. On the night side, deprived of sunlight, heat rapidly escapes into space, leaving behind a world of frigid desolation. The darkness is absolute, broken only by the faint glimmer of distant stars. Temperatures plummet to absolute zero, the atmosphere freezes and precipitates onto the surface, and the oceans transform into expanses of thick, impenetrable ice. It's a frozen tomb, a silent, desolate landscape where all seems lost. The cold is absolute and unforgiving. Between these extremes lies the Terminator Zone, a narrow band of perpetual twilight, a region caught between fire and ice. It's a place of constant transition. Here, the sun hovers perpetually on the horizon, casting long shadows and creating a sliver of moderate temperatures, a fragile balance between two extremes. Winds from both sides collide in this zone, creating intense atmospheric turbulence, making this region turbulent but potentially survivable, a constant struggle against the elements. This twilight zone is the last hope for life, a thin ribbon of sanctuary on a divided world, a precarious haven in the face of planetary catastrophe. Survival depends on adapting to this new harsh equilibrium, on finding ways to thrive in a world forever altered. The future of life on Earth hangs in the balance. After the winds, water becomes the next threat. The oceans, still in motion, surge eastward at hundreds of miles per hour. This isn't a tsunami, it's a planet-spanning flood. Coastal cities are obliterated and water pushes deep inland, grinding continents. Low-lying regions vanish beneath the waves, river valleys flood, and the world's maps become meaningless. As gravity takes over, water flows away from the equator toward the poles, forming two new polar oceans. The equator is left with a new exposed continent, muddy, alien, and littered with wreckage. Survivors scramble for high ground, but the landscape is constantly changing. The definition of land and sea is rewritten in hours. Day 1 is a day of drowning, as the oceans reclaim the land in a final decisive victory. By day 3, the oceans have migrated to the poles, forming colossal superoceans. The equator is now a new continent of exposed seabed, while the poles are buried under miles of water. Even Mount Everest disappears beneath the waves, a symbol of total transformation. Marine life faces extinction as pressure, temperature, and location shift catastrophically. Deep-sea creatures are thrust to the surface, coastal life is dragged into the abyss. The sunside ocean boils, the nightside ocean freezes, and the marine food web collapses. Human survivors are stranded on isolated peaks or the new equatorial continent, facing a chaotic, storm-ravaged world. The challenge is no longer survival, but understanding a planet fundamentally and permanently changed. A week after the world stopped, chaos settles into a harsh new order. The only refuge is the Terminator Zone, a band of perpetual dusk. Here, survivors cluster in bunkers or caves, shielded from violent storms where hot and cold air collide. Winds offer energy, glaciers on the cold side provide fresh water. Communities must adapt, farming with artificial light, building in sheltered valleys, and drawing resources from both extremes. Life is a constant struggle, but hope persists. Knowledge and technology are priceless. Engineers and farmers become heroes. Humanity endures, living on the edge of light and darkness, a testament to resilience and adaptation. This apocalypse reveals a profound truth. Earth's rotation is the engine of our climate, continents, and oceans. Its steady spin is a miracle, not a guarantee. Looking to the cosmos, we see extreme worlds, tidally locked planets, frozen wanderers, and gas giants scorched by their stars. Our stable, life-bearing planet is the exception, not the rule. The story of a stopped Earth is a cautionary tale. Our systems are powerful, but not invincible. We are already changing the climate, oceans, and atmosphere, reminding us that planetary balance is fragile. Our survival depends on understanding and protecting this dynamic, interconnected world. The Earth's rhythms are everyday miracles, worthy of gratitude, awe, and stewardship.